It's time to react to my predictions. Alright mate, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. Today is all about reacting to the Premier League predictions. It's that time of year again. The Premier League is done for another season, and of course at the start of the season I made my predictions of where I thought each team would finish. We're going to see how right or wrong I was. We have got a scoring system that I've used every year. When you've been in the game as long as I have, which is more than 10 years man and boy in a YouTube game, you got data. Yeah, say what you want about me, but I've got data. So I'm not only going to be comparing my predictions to some other YouTubers' predictions, but I'm also going to be looking at how I've done this year compared to other years. I think I've got 6 seasons now of data. Has it been a good year? Let's find out. Starting off at the bottom of the table, relegation zone, you can see I've got 2 of the 3 relegated teams correct, although not in the exact right positions. We had West Brom and Fulham to go down. I had West Brom last, Fulham 19th. In fact, it was actually, they were both one spot above that. West Brom finished 19th, Fulham finished 18th. So I was pretty happy with that. However, the big mistake is I had Villa to go down. I wasn't the only person that had this. You're looking at last year's performances. It wasn't that hard to believe, but Villa, particularly at the start, but to be honest, throughout the season, they really did some great performances, including that final day win against Chelsea there. Obviously, Jack Grealish had a great year. Martinez over from Arsenal has been fantastic. The Mings-Konsa partnership. Ollie Watkins as well in this initial 33-man England squad as well. So, yeah, really strong year for Villa, and I got that one wrong. To be precise, I was 7 positions out. I had Villa finishing 18th. They actually finished 11th. And if you don't know, this is how I've traditionally scored my Premier League predictions. However many places I am out from their actual position on the table, you get 1 point. You want to amass as little points as possible over the league table. So for example, 0 points would be the perfect season. It means you predicted everyone in the right positions, which is basically impossible. Anywhere near triple figures is embarrassing. You don't know anything about football. Generally, a good season has been around the sort of 50-60 points mark. But we're still collecting the data. Now, West Ham. Where do I start? Obviously delighted with the season we've had. European adventure incoming. Let me know if you want to see some European vlogs next season. Could happen. But, I mean, I've had a stinker. Haven't I? I've had an absolute stinker on this one. And it's cost me dearly because I decided I wasn't going to back West Ham this year. I decided, and I'm not necessarily saying I thought we were going to come 17th, but I decided to err on the side of caution. And I think partly because of the pressure I've had in the comments before about overestimating how good West Ham would be. You know, in my wildest dreams, I still wouldn't have had us finishing 6th, where we did, which is fantastic. In the past, though, I have put us in 7th, 8th, 9th quite a lot. So this year, I took it really safe. Well, I thought it was safe. In fact, it's actually my biggest incorrect prediction of the whole league table. I was 11 positions off with this. I had us finishing 17th. We've finished 6th. So that's cost me. But if I'm going to lose points on getting someone wrong, I'll incorrectly predict West Ham to have a bad season and them end up having a good season any day of the week, son. Let's talk about Brighton. A lot of Brighton fans come at me all the time, and I talked about it at the start of this season. I did these predictions. I said, you know what, Brighton fans, I owe you an apology. I've always had you to go down. I'm not going to have you to go down this year. I really thought about it and I said 16th. Where'd they finish? 16th. Nil point in a good way. Not Eurovision Song Contest nil point. This is a good nil point. Okay? 0 points because I got that exactly right. And that's not the last time you'll see me get one exactly right in this video. Brighton have been talked about a lot this year in terms of XG. Where could they have finished if they're taking their chances? Well, get themselves a good striker in the summer. Maybe we'll find out next year. Happy with the Brighton prediction. Happy with the Palace prediction as well. So this is a good part of the league table with me. Happy with it. Well done to Roy Hodgson, who's retiring this year. Unbelievable managerial career from him. Been all over the world. Done everything, mate. Seen everything you can see as a manager. And he has seen things, believe me. I think Roy deserves a lot of credit for what he's done at Palace, with not the best squad at all, to be honest. Obviously, Zaha is a huge player for them. Eberici Eze has come in this year and definitely added some attacking flair, although he's got a pretty significant injury now, I think. I'm liking the look of Mitchell, the young left back. But yeah, another manager could come in the Palace and have a problem next year. Anyway, so obviously Sheffield United did go down in 20th. I had them to go down in 20th last season. Got that well wrong because they had a great year, and then they did it. I was just a year out. I was a year ahead of the game. Yes. I thought they'd finish 14th this year. I still had them having quite a big drop-off from last season. I thought they'd definitely be bottom half, but I didn't think it'd be quite as bad as it was. And they've obviously gone down. I think they're one of the quickest teams to go down. And I think this was the earliest in any season in Premier League history that all 3 teams have been relegated. which doesn't look good for the 3 relegated teams. Let's move on. In 13th, though, I had Newcastle. They finished 12th. Happy with that. I backed Steve Bruce to do a little bit in the sense that I didn't think they'd get relegated, and 12th isn't a bad position for that squad and that manager. So just 1 point for that, 1 place out. Burnley finished 17th. I had them to finish 12th. So not quite as good as I thought they'd do. 5 places out here. I definitely did worse in the lower half of the table predictions this year than I did in the top half, as we'll see in a minute. And I think I might have said this before, but I do definitely think it's time for Sean Dyche to go. Get the hell out of there, son. Burnley won't keep staying up. It's a matter of time. They will be relegated in the next 3 years. You heard it here first. Burnley will be relegated in the next 3 years, unless something significant happens behind the scenes. Leeds United, this was their first season back in the Prem, you know. I think backing them to come 11th, I showed a bit of belief in Bielsa and the boys, and they backed it up. They did even better. They finished 9th. Just the 2 points for me on that one. Leeds did me proud. The same can't be said for Southampton, who I backed to finish 10th. I thought Hasenhüttl was going to really stabilise that ship. Although they dropped to 15th in the end, so 5 points I picked up there. I don't really know what's going on with Southampton. They're a weird team. I mean, we absolutely did a job on them last game of the season for West Ham, which was massive for us. They had nothing to play for. But it seems like on any one day they could get smashed, or they could pull off a great result. I don't really know what to expect from them, and I think that's going to be a problem for them long term if they don't get some consistency. But when it comes to the higher up clubs, Leicester, I had to finish 9th. They did much better than that, as we know. They finished 5th. They probably could have finished top 4. They maybe should have finished top 4. They've got an FA Cup win. They'll be very happy with that. Love Leicester. Very hard team to not like. They're doing things properly. I love the relationship with the players and the fans and the owners. I think Brendan Rodgers deserves a lot of credit. I hope he stays there. If he'd got Champions League, I think he definitely would. But if a good offer comes in, you never know. Wolverhampton Wanderers did not do as well as I thought they would. I had them to finish 8th. They ended up in 13th. A massive part of that, though, it has to be the Raul Jimenez injury. They really didn't have a plan B. They obviously had Fabio Silva come in as a youngster, but a very different player to Raul Jimenez. And they just never really recovered from that. And the good news is it sounds like Jimenez is going to play football again. I think he's going to have to wear a protective helmet going forward because of that fractured skull that he suffered. But fantastic news for him. And that's the main thing, of course. But the manager's leaving as well. So it'd be very interesting to see whoever replaces him and how they do. I think they're going to keep this Portuguese theme. I know they've been linked with a few Portuguese managers already. But there's no guarantee of the same success. In 7th, I had Everton. They finished 10th. Okay, not great, but it's only 3 places wrong. I don't think Ancelotti is getting the criticism he deserves. Maybe he is. Everton fans, let me know. But you got Ancelotti as a manager. You got James Rodriguez. You're finishing 10th. You're finishing behind Leeds. You're finishing behind a very underwhelming Arsenal and Spurs. You're finishing behind West Ham, lads. What's going on at Everton? Are they just going to accept that? They've got a new stadium coming. Are they happy with 10th? With Ancelotti? Is he happy with 10th? I can't imagine he is. Ben Godfrey getting the England call up. Very happy about that. He was in my squad. Check out my last video if you haven't already. But yeah, I wasn't far off. I mean, I was 3 places out. Could have been a bit better, but we move on. Arsenal. I had them to finish 6th. They finished 8th. Only 4 points between them and us, West Ham, who actually did finish 6th. So, you know, I'm not far off here, guys. My regret is that my top 6 in total all involved the Super 6, the Super League 6. And I wish I'd had the vision to mix that up a bit, because it was great that West Ham and Leicester did break into that and prove that anyone that applied to be in the Super 6, whatever they're called, Super Frauds, Euromugs.com, and didn't finish in the top 6 of the Prem are absolute fraudulent fraudsters. Arsenal and Tottenham, I'm looking at you. Speaking of, let's talk about Tottenham. I had them to finish 5th. They finished 7th. Very poor from them. With Mourinho in charge, obviously not anymore, but for the large part of the season. With Harry Kane and Son, a lot of people's team of the season features both Kane and Son. They carried them so much this year. The rest of the team, I mean, Gareth Bale actually did end up with a decent goals per minute ratio, or goal contributions per minute. I'm hearing rumours today that he might want to retire at 31, which is crazy to think about. But I don't know where Tottenham will go from here, particularly as they're looking to lose Harry Kane. But we're talking about predictions. I gave them a little bit more credit than they deserved. I thought they'd get 5th. They didn't even get Europa League. They're in the Conference League. They're a laughing stock, let's face it. But am I a laughing stock? Well, my predictions so far, what have we had? We've had one team exactly right, and that was Brighton. We've had a couple teams close to right. Fulham, West Brom, Crystal Palace and Newcastle were all only 1 place out on the league table. I'm happy with that. But when you look at the top 4, this is the bit you guys really need to stop, think, and then if you're not already subscribed to me, subscribe, because I got the top 4 exactly right. I'm not going to break it down. Just stick it up on the screen. I got them all exactly right. Find me another YouTuber who did this. I'll save you some time. You won't, okay? Normally, getting the top 4 is not that hard. Normally, a lot of us predict the top 4 completely right. No one, except me, did it this year. Prove me wrong if you can. Who backed Liverpool to come third before the Van Dijk injury? No one. Who backed United to come second, even though Chelsea spent all the money? No one. Lots of people backed City to win the league, of course. Although a lot of people backed Liverpool to win the league. But no one had this combination. What can I say? I've smashed it. Of course, it's not the perfect prediction. I don't think that's possible. You're chasing a Mewtwo, unicorn, leprechaun combination. It will never happen. But what I've got here is like a really shiny Charizard. Achievable, but lovely. How did I do it, I hear you ask? Well, let me tell you. It's a certain... Some people just have it. Some people just have it. I have it. I had a feeling the Man City-Liverpool kind of mini-league at the top was going to be broken up this year. I had a feeling. I didn't think Liverpool could keep it up. But I tell you this, and I'm pretty sure I said this in the video. I believed Liverpool were going to have injury issues this year for a number of reasons. They'd been very fortunate with injury issues in the past. The front three, for example. I didn't necessarily think it would be Van Dijk, but the front, or the other defenders, but the front three had been largely uninterrupted for a couple of years. And the way they play, that gegenpress, it leads to a lot of injuries traditionally. So there was some logic there. And also, I was really impressed with Man United in the restart and most of actually the back end of last season. And even though I didn't have a lot of faith in Solskjaer, which I said in my manager's ranking video, and a lot of people took offence to, I did predict Man United, even with that knowledge, to finish second because I felt their form was good. I believed in the players there. And I think that belief has been repaid by the fact that I got the whole top 4 right. I don't want to go on about it. I don't like to talk about it. It's something I did. It's something that people, across the country, the internet, the universe are applauding me for. Everywhere I go, they keep mentioning it. I don't like to talk about it, guys. Honestly, it's embarrassing. You're embarrassing me. So in total, though, what does this mean? Because obviously the top 4 was decent, but the whole league is what we're looking at here. 56 points. That's what we're looking at. That's how many points I ended up with. I said at the start of the video, 50-60 is considered a good season. I do consider this a good season, all things considered. 25% of the league I got exactly right. That's the top 4, obviously, in Brighton. 5 of the 20 teams, bang on. If you include the teams I got only one position wrong on, it's 9 out of 20. It's almost half. It's 45%. 45% of the league I got within one place or exactly right. I'm very happy with that. West Ham did hurt me. Villa did hurt me. The Claret and Blue teams came back to bite me, even Burnley a little bit. So I really struggled with the Claret and Blue kits. But largely I'm happy. If we compare it to other years, the story of my Premier League predictions are very much like, if this was a graph, it would be, okay, Spen, I'm listening. Oh, you're getting better. Yes, yes. Oh my God, what's happening? I'm back, baby. That's what the scatter graph thing is saying. Basically, I've always got better. 15-16 was not a great year. It was a Leicester league winning year, 70 points. Then I improved to 64 points. Remember that the least points, the better. Then I improved to 60 points. Then I had an unbelievable year in the 2018-19 season, getting 44 points, a record low. But then 19-20 was a stinker. I'm happy to talk about that. There's a video out there. Sheffield United absolutely killed me on that one. 82 points, my worst ever. But I've recovered this year with my second best ever year. And remember last year, my worst year was the COVID year, the asterisk. We used an asterisk on that one. 2021 will be forever remembered as a decent year, my second best year, but the year I got the top 4 right when no one else did. What more can I say? I guess you guys are going to be tuned in and locked in to see where I predict people, particularly in the top 4 for next season, because I'm fast getting a reputation for being some kind of mystic, Meg, Nostradamus type. That person from X-Men who can see things, the girl, that I don't know her name. Basically someone who can predict the future to an extent, Not my words. Not my words. I don't want to oversell this. I don't oversell this. It's an okay year. Like I said, I have had a better year. Mainly, the reason I'm going so hard on it is I got a lot of stick. I got a lot of stick in the comments on the video, and then I got a lot of stick at the start of the season because Man United didn't start that well. Obviously, Villa started amazingly well, and I had people saying to me like, "Oh, Spencer," and people were sending me the pictures and all that stuff. Bring it on, bring it on. I will just say this to people: like, it's a season's prediction. It's not a prediction of what's going to happen in October. It's not a prediction of what's going to happen at Christmas. It's a prediction of what happens at the end of May. Okay? So there's a lot of people right now having to eat some of that humble pie. Enjoy it, savor it. I'm going to leave the video there, guys. Let me know your thoughts on what's going to happen next season in the comments below. We've got a little bit of time to go. I will be doing a Euro 2020 prediction soon as well. And then one thing I will say, I said it on Twitter recently, is I will make my Premier League predictions video for next season at the latest possible opportunity. That's when I always do it. Don't be atting me in July, where's my Premier League predictions? It's irrelevant until right before the season starts. It's not about who's first, it's about who's best. There is a guy who ranks all the YouTubers' scores. From everyone he ranked on there, I've won. From what I'm aware of, I think I might have been the best on YouTube this year. Like I say, I don't consider this a good year. I just consider this quite a hard year to predict. I think a lot of people would have been a little bit off, but I wouldn't be surprised to find out if there's someone out there who did beat me this year, because I didn't help myself in the other parts of the table. It's just the top 4 bit where I did myself proud. Anyway, enough from me. More videos coming soon. Drop a like on this one if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Until next time, don't go changing. See ya.